All right, we are here with Sean Bormet, who is, gosh, only like maybe 2 hours off a plane ride back from Serbia, coming off of a record setting World Championships for our Michigan program with 3 medals, a gold, 2 bronzes. What went into all of that? I know you had a feeling a couple weeks ago there was going to be a good World Championships. What were you seeing, and what all went into that?
Yeah. So thrilled for our guys. It's a year's worth of work, really. It's countless hours of training, traveling, competing, international camps, international competitions, massive amount of coordinating, training partners to come here and train with our guys. Different times of the season. Sergey is taking the lead and taking these guys around the country while we're busy with the college team. And other parts of the year, it's all hands on deck with our entire coaching staff. Which is basically what it's been throughout the spring and summer, dividing up, going different places with the different athletes. So it's a lot of coordinating and just a tremendous amount of work. So seeing how hard they work and for them to be able to get these kind of results, was outstanding World Championships. The guys were really well prepared, wrestled with a ton of confidence, and it was great to see them have so much success. And none of that would happen without. It takes a tremendous amount of resources to do all these things. So, just can't thank our generous alumni and supporters that do so much and have such a significant impact on everything we do here on a daily basis.
So I want to touch on these 3 guys, and you can kind of give a little bit of insight and perspective. Stefan Mitch captured gold at 57 kilos. Kind of just went through an absolute gauntlet those last 3 matches against world champs, Olympic champs. Was in really tight matches, had to rally in a couple of them. But you saw this side of him years ago, so it's like you knew he had this in him. What can you say about his performance?
Yes, so happy for Stefan, especially for him to be able to win that World Championship in Serbia. I know that was really special for him and his family, and really, I've known he's capable of being the best in the world for a long time. And technically, I think a lot of people have talked about what a great technician he is for years. I think him being really healthy and going into this healthy and energized was a big part of it. And he also was able to string those 3, 4, 5 really tough, gritty matches together. Which is what it takes to win a gold medal. And he beat some of the best guys in the world at that weight, from the quarterfinals to the semifinals to the finals. And I know he had a great training camp at one point over in Japan. I know his dad talked about that a lot, and I know that they felt like that really helped him prepare, especially for his finals opponent with Higuchi. So just super pumped for Stefan, and outstanding performance overall.
So Stefan obviously qualified for the Olympics, as did Miles Amin, both their second time. Miles, had a little bit of a disappointing Worlds last year, but man, he's looked awesome this whole calendar year. Got his first world medal, go with his Olympic medal. How about Miles's performance?
Yeah, Miles is really, this whole entire year, I felt like he's really competed at a high level. Just always driven. A lot of hard-fought matches. All these guys had hard-fought matches this weekend, and and Miles especially, he had a couple of those matches where they were back and forth, and and he had get to some scores at the end of the match to get his hand raised, and that's the kind of competitor Miles is. And when Miles is just focused on, obviously there's a lot of strategy, there's a lot of technique, a lot of position work has to happen. There's so much that goes into it at that level, but when Miles is just going out there and he's clear about just being the best competitor he can possibly be when he steps on the mat, good things happen. And that's really what I think he's done throughout this year. I mean, he was, second at Europeans. He came off, this last tournament in Hungary with a gold medal, beating the guy that beat him in the European finals. Another great wrestler, Krugliev. So he was coming off that match. Training here was really, really good leading up to Serbia, so I felt really confident about where Miles was at in his preparation and where he was at mentally going into that competition, and it sure paid off. Wrestled a great match. His first world medal. He's won an Olympic medal, but that was his first world medal, and and he is right there in the mix with. There's 3 or 4 of those top guys at that weight, and Miles is right there.
Quick follow up on Miles. You know, he gave up that really late lead in that kind of scramble in that bronze match, but you know, came right back and scored those points. I don't know, with 5 seconds left. Um, it just seems like he has this knack, this, you know, what we call kind of ice in your veins. And what is that? What is that he has?
Yeah, I think Miles has, you know, in that kind of a moment, Miles has great composure and clarity, and he knows where he's at positionally and what he needs to do to score. He's got a great awareness in that kind of a moment. And even in that position, when the guy rolled him to get his points, as they rolled through the position, it's you know, it's a position that Miles has been working on a lot. Lag half, he rolled into that position. As soon as I saw him land there and start to get to the position, I knew he was in good shape, and I knew he was going to score. Whether he was going to score two or two and two, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But again, it's just clarity, and you know, it's a lot of time spent in these positions over and over. And there's so many positions you got to work to you know, win and have success at that level. And Miles just been doing a great job developing in all these different areas.
All right, Mason Paris, bronze medal at 125 kilos, has had an unbelievable year between an NCAA title and the Hodge Trophy, and now he's a world bronze medalist on short notice. And I know a lot of American fans kind of, you know, wondered how he would be in his first senior worlds. We had a ton of confidence. How do you think he did?
Yeah, Mason did a great job. I mean, he great competitor throughout the tournament. I think he learned a lot. In, you know, the couple of matches where, you know, he was scoring a lot of points, and then he kind of started to pull back and try to play a position game, and you know, and it cost him some points in the match with China, and you know, and even the match he ended up losing. I mean, he's, you know, pretty much wrestling through, you know, Gino Picciagiavili from Georgia, you know, and you know, beating him throughout the match. You know, this guy's, you know, 9-time medalist, 3-time world champion. So I think he learned a lot in those matches, and he brought that to his bronze medal match because he really wrestled just a great match offensively. He kept that attack mindset throughout that match, but he did it positionally well too. And there's just a lot of takeaways for Mason. I know, you know, we're all super proud of him with the bronze medal, and you know, and I know he's really hungry for more. I know he believes he can win gold in Paris, and you know, I think he did an outstanding job. You know, again, he went to Hungary and competed mid-July and came off winning a gold medal in that tournament. So I know his confidence was really high. You know, great preparation here. He's had great training partners leading up to the World Championships. So, you know, we believed he was ready to go, and you know, I think he really proved it.
What do you think his upside is? I mean, I've, you know, listened to a couple interviews and people talking about, oh man, now that he's going to be training freestyle full time. Do you really think kind of the sky's the limit for Mason?
Yeah, I think he's going to make a huge jump, you know, especially from this tournament. I think he's going to make a huge jump. I think, too, surrounded by some of our club guys and, you know, guys like Miles Amin, you know, because really Miles positionally has worked to develop so many areas. And that's where I think Mason can make some more gains. He's just a great attacker, and he's a great competitor. But I think there's so many, you know, just key wrestling positions he can continue to learn because he's athletic enough for heavyweight, you know, to wrestle that way. And I think there's just a lot of positional things that he's going to continue to develop and learn, you know, in these months ahead. And I think he's going to really continue to jump a couple levels, you know, with his wrestling, his confidence, and his ability to put points on the board, especially with his parterre.
All right, you're back in Ann Arbor, kind of for the foreseeable future. Probably some recruiting visits coming up, but how excited are you to kind of, you know, obviously this was an awesome trip, but get back in the room, get back with Team 102, and kind of really start picking up the pace in that college room.
Yeah, great to be back. Obviously, you know, guys are excited, you know, coming back with a Wolverine medal haul, and you know, I know everybody's excited about that, and you know, and that's one of the things. Even at the Worlds, you know, those guys weren't competing on the same days. You know, Miles and Mason had their bronze medal matches that night. Earlier in that day, when Stefan beat Oguya from Russia in the quarters, we were all watching it and stuff on the monitors, and you know, and that really ignited those guys. So the camaraderie and the brotherhood between these guys is really thick. And that also trickles down into our college program. I mean, even in the training process over the summer, we utilize our college guys are all hands on deck. They're always ready to jump in and help our postgraduates train, prepare, get ready for world competition. So I know for our college guys to see them competing and see them having that level of success, it just compounds and it trickles down into the entire program. So there's a lot of excitement. I know the guys have been doing a great job here training. Dave's been running practices, and I know the guys have been doing a great job. A lot of consistency, great effort, a lot of enthusiasm. And, coming off Worlds and having that kind of success at the World Championships, that's just going to continue to boost that. And can't wait. I'll be back in here tomorrow ready for practice.
All right. Glad to have you back. Go Blue.
Go Blue.